I told him that I broke up with him. I'm like, said like, what's up now? He was like, you didn't break up with him. Like, no, you didn't. And I didn't, but I'm like, this gay. Like, how you not?
You see how fucked up that is?
There's no bigger hypocrite on this earth than black women.
You had the internet in the 2000s.
What?
I'm asking. See, that's what I mean. That let me know what type of time you was on. You was in Baltimore eating crab cakes, and I already know what time it would have been, because I might have came to see you in 2007 if I'd have known, you know, what I know now.
But you've been bluffing for years. So
ain't nobody been bluffing. Ain't nobody been bluffing.
You became my nephew, and that's it.
Ain't nobody been bluffing.
Anyway, how's your love life?
How's yours?
I'm good. I'm pregnant, and I'm happy now. So what's up?
So point number one, and I will be stopping here and there to give my commentary. She says, how's your life? He says, how's your life? She says, I'm good, I'm pregnant, and I'm happy now. I'm good, I'm pregnant, I'm happy now. Now, if you guys don't know much about her, she's someone who has discussed her relationship history. She's been pretty public with the people she's dated. I know she's had a relationship with Country Wayne, a couple other celebrity guys, a couple other no-name guys, but she's someone who has made the public full aware of her dating history. To my knowledge, at this point, Jess Hilarious is not married. And I have a question. Why is that not the mention? Why is that not what is mentioned first? Your love life consists of, I'm good, I'm pregnant, and I'm happy now. But no ring. Now I know the automatic rebuttal is that not everyone wants to be married. That's automatically what people say. And I get it. Yeah, not everyone wants to be married, but someone help me out that knows anything about Jess Hilarious, and you tell me, does anything she provide to you based on her social dynamic and what she shows to the world, does anything shows that she doesn't want to be married? I will venture to say she does. But I will also venture to say, for anyone who says marriage isn't for everyone, well, maybe having kids isn't for everyone. Because this is a question that I've always had, and I'm struggling to get that answer. If marriage isn't for you, then why are you having kids? But also, how in the world can you expect to do something that God created without doing it the way God created it to function? Marriage and childbearing is a God-ordained organism, God-ordained function. And we can't do it out of his will and expect to have good results. That's the question I have for us today. I want us to start to analyze our thinking. This conversation may not hit everyone. This conversation may hit those who are believers. But I want everyone to analyze what you think within yourself to see, do I align with these type of people? Have I conformed to what the world has told me that is acceptable? Have I conformed to what is out of the will of God to be able to align myself with people who are unbelievers, who are openly unbelievers, how they believe, what concepts they have, how do they live day to day? Are you aligned with that? The Bible disagrees with this type of thought. Marriage should be at the forefront before we talk about children. Let's proceed.
Man, I don't understand why you coming at me like that. Like, what is it that you're based? No.
He was scared.
He was scared. What was I scared of?
I don't know.
What was I scared of? Tell me what I was scared of.
Look, it wasn't even that he was scared. He just wasn't with it. Like, when I first got the Wildin' Out, I was like, oh my gosh, I like this nigga. He quiet and shit. Like, he ain't all over the place. Like, you know, he ain't wildin'.
Pick it up, pick it and kill it. Whatever that shit is.
That wasn't even out when I first got there. That was a later game.
That was a later game.
Yeah,
for sure.
so I tried to throw some game on him, but he.
Let's deal with that phrase very quickly. Point number 2. I tried to throw some game on him. I'm willing to bet, ladies and gentlemen, every dollar I have that this was the most masculine approach that Chico Bean has ever received from a woman. I'm willing to bet every dollar I have that this is the most masculine approach that Chico Bean has ever received on behalf of a woman. It's easier, a whole lot easier for a man to think rationally and to think logically when he is dealing with a masculine woman. In the presence of masculine energy, men, we think 100% with our brain. I mean, think about it. When we're in the presence of other men, we ain't thinking about with our brain below our waist. We think about the brain, thinking with the brain above our head, above our shoulders. It's so easy, ladies and gentlemen, to think logically. That's why Chico eventually turns her down, because he's able to process within himself what makes sense for me in this given situation. This is the woman that will more than likely bring pain to my life moving forward. So why in the world would I ever put myself in her pathway? This is the most masculine approach. I tried to run game on him. I'm all for it. I'm not saying that women should never approach a man. I'm not saying that. I'm saying try to run game on him. Like, is that something you hear women say? And I understand she just may be using a different vernacular than I'm used to and I'm accustomed to from a woman. But you tell me within yourself, does this sound like a feminine woman? Does this sounds like femininity approaching a man? You tell me. And you tell me, how can a man receive this and now automatically feel that he's in the presence of masculinity?
He was like, oh, don't you have a boyfriend? I'm like, who be worried about that? You know what I mean?
Me.
Like, who? Yeah, right.
I come from out the ghetto. Niggas will kill you about a Jess hilarious in my hood. You know what I mean?
It, but
I don't play them games.
My boyfriend, he wasn't that type of nigga. So that's the
what
thing.
Type of nigga was he?
That's what.
Point number 3. Chico reasonably says, and just like I would reasonably say, being that I'm also somebody that's from the hood, dudes will kill you about a Just hilarious. We know this. We know that a man, whenever his woman is being approached in an inappropriate way, or even being hollered at, period, you gotta check in. Like, every time a man sees another woman or sees a woman in outside of his house or whatever, out and about, the first thing in your mind is, where's her man? If you're attracted to this woman, you're thinking about, where's her man? So there's a respect factor amongst men that we process in order to determine if we're going to holler at a woman. So this is a process that Chico went through. But Jess is saying, my boyfriend wasn't that type of guy. Let me be abundantly clear here. Jess is the type of woman that will get a man murdered for those who aren't aware of how men determine if we're going to fight somebody or not. How are we going to take it to the next level and defend ourselves enough to be willing to die for our cause? What are the 3 causes that a man will fight for and be willing to die for? It's money, power, and a threat to something that they love or to someone that they love, aka their woman. So what we have here is just putting multiple men in the crosshairs of one another. Jess is the type of woman that would do all the dirty work, would do all the skullduggery, and put men in the crossfire of each other. Watch those men murder each other. Watch those men put each other in jail, and then she gets to skate on by scotch-free, moving on to the next man to do the same exact thing to. That's the type of woman that Just Hilarious is. What type of comments is this? Well, my man wasn't that type of guy. Chico's immediate response is, okay, what type of guy was he? It doesn't take the strongest man in the world in order to defend his woman or to feel disrespected and want to attack a man. Matter of fact, most people would tell you the scariest guys will be willing to do the most in order to defend what he believe belongs to him. You hear the whole notion all the time. When people go to prison, the ones who the most scariest be the most willing to kill first. That's the same concept when it comes to defending your woman. So her having this mindset that her man wasn't that type of guy is completely irrelevant and completely puts Chico and her man in the crossfires.
But yeah, I did. That's why I was going at Chico. I'm like, okay, now you cool. You know,
he quiet, he low.
Right. But he really like funny, like he down to earth. I'm like, all right, cool. So I told him that I broke up with him. I'm like, say like, what's up now? He was like, you didn't break up with him. Like, no, you didn't. And I didn't, but I'm like, this gay. Like, how you not?
You see how fucked up that is? You see that fucked up.
He wasn't
Just
interested. He gotta
because
be
you don't
gay.
want that pussy, I don't want none. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it boldly, and I know I may get in trouble. Who cares? I think black women are the living embodiment of hypocrite, of the word hypocrite. There's no bigger hypocrite on this earth than black women. No other group claims to be bigger advocates for the LGBTQ community. They support and champion young black men or young black boys transitioning to becoming girls. They have multiple gay males as their best close friends. When the last time you seen a group of more than 3 black women hanging together and it wasn't at least 2 gay dudes there? While they simultaneously are the most homophobic group of people on earth. All it takes is for a man to disagree with them or to not want to be with them for them to call him gay, without any type of evidence of him actually being gay. So if being gay is so awesome on one hand, how can you turn around and use it as an insult on the other hand? They mean it. When black women said, and Jess means it right here, as a means to belittle a man. As a means to completely belittle a man, and they know that black men have been raised by their black mothers to hold their sexuality in a high regard. So let me say something that's going to completely emasculate and disrespect him, calling him gay. You see it right now being played out in our very eyes right now with Shannon Sharp. Now, I'm somebody who has speculated in the past about his sexuality. I'm not going to say I'm above that. But you see it happening in droves with the popularity he's receiving, of course. But that's the quickest way to emasculate and to disrespect a black man is to call him gay. I've been called every name in the book based on my beliefs that I've shared, through my years of doing content. I've been called everything, including being gay. And I keep a woman. I've always kept a woman. I don't understand that, which, we ain't gonna talk about that. But the point is, why is it so quick? Why are they so quick to do that? Just because you either don't like them or you disagree with them. And we all know they can't accept defeat, and they can't defeat arguments. It's all about not being able to take a L. If anybody know anything about black women, you know one thing. They will never take a L. They like LeVar Ball. They undefeated, never lost. Seriously, anytime a black woman is in any type of situation, argument, debate, whatever, one thing she would never do is take a L. Even in relationships, they will not take a L. Whatever the outcome may be, either they win or no one wins.
That's crazy.
I was like, all right, he just gonna be a brother at this point.
Yeah, because you gotta
trying.
understand. I gotta be very selective with any woman I deal with because of the perspective that I have and how I live. You're not about to come at me. Not saying that you would have did this, but I know you would have just because I know you who you are. You just that type of person that you're going to flash out, but you're not going to be the only woman that I'm dealing with.
Right, and that's
I have to be very,
told me.
very careful with who I let into the way that I operate. Like I say all the time, I make the outside of my house ugly. Because if you can't I'm going to lead with all of the shit that you're going to judge a man on. I'm going to let you know these things about me immediately. So you got a choice to make. Yeah. But when you can see the type of person that a person is, I'm like, just ain't nobody about to be fighting with you at the Cheesecake Factory because you mad about the fact that I done did something that I told you I was doing. Like, she's the type of motherfucker that's going to act like you ain't never told her that shit. Like, I know what you said, bitch, but I wasn't listening.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? It just wouldn't have worked. But don't make it seem like I was scared because I wasn't.
Let's go.